computer science and programming language Java. Today we will discuss a topic that is a bit challenging, and I hope I can clarify it for all of the listeners. And the topic is related to inheritance, and specifically it is the notion of upcasting and downcasting. And to illustrate this concept, first of all, I think we should have an understanding about what is up and what is down. What is there in the up direction and what is in the down direction. So I think the best way to illustrate it is to think about a triangle, such as a pyramid, and to think what is on the top. And on the top is the parent, and on the bottom is the children, the subclasses. And I will explain why it makes sense. Because when you have a parent in Java, programming language, then the parent is one, it is singular. However, this parent may have many subclasses inherited from it. So if we have a parent, let's say we have a class, and we will call a class, this parent class, we will call it a soccer player. So this parent class has some methods and parameters that are all related to the fact that these objects of this parent class can play soccer. And if I would like to create subclasses from this parent class, then I can create many subclasses. I can create a subclass of a person that also likes to play soccer, but in addition, he or she also likes to read books. So I extend this is why we use the word extend when we create subclasses. I extend the capabilities of the parent by creating a subclass that has more capabilities. It will have more methods. It will not only inherit the capability and methods and parameters that are related to soccer playing, but I'm expanding the capabilities of this subclass. This subclass will also be able not only to play soccer, but also to read books. And so already you can see why the triangle notion makes sense, because you have a parent on the top that has only few methods and capabilities and parameters, but the subclasses has more. It has more things that this object may do. So this is already starts to look more to make more sense. This my decision to portray this kind of pyramid shape. And another reason the pyramid shape makes sense is that you have one parent, but you may have many subclasses to this parent. You can have a subclass that, as we say, a person that also plays soccer but also read books, but you can also have another subclass, an additional subclass of a person that may play soccer and also has extended capabilities of enjoying and listening to music. So he has more capabilities and is a more rounded person than just playing soccer. And we can have even another subclass, a subclass of a person that also plays soccer, but in addition, this person also likes to go on hiking in nature. So you can see that the shape of a triangle makes sense because there is one parent and they may be many subclasses, many child classes. And in addition, it's also makes sense, this shape of a triangle, because the one parent at the top, he has only several or only few capabilities, only few methods and parameters. However, the child classes has more extended methods and parameters. So this is how I remember the fact that the parent is on the top and the child classes are on the bottom, and this will help me to remember that when I'm saying upcast, I mean the direction is toward the parent, and when I'm saying to myself downcast, the direction is toward the child classes. And now let's see what is the meaning of this upclass thing. So first of all, let's see what happens usually prior to the idea of upclass. Let's say that I would like to create a new object, an object of of a subclass. I would like to create an object of the subclass of a person that is also a soccer player, and also he or she enjoys reading books. So this is the subclass that I called soccer and books. Now I'm creating a new object. I'm using the word new in order to do that. And I think the most basic way to do it is to have a reference that points to this object, and this reference will be of type of the same subclass that I'm now creating an object of. The subclass and the type is soccer and books. So just to remind you, when I'm creating objects in Java, the objects are located in the memory of the heap. And the reference to those objects, the reference to them is located in the stack. And the regular or standard way to do it is to have them both to be of the same type. So I'm creating a new object of type soccer and books, and the reference to that object will be also of the same type, soccer and books. And in this way, which is the most straightforward, when I would like to interact with this object, make it do certain things, do some actions, or reach its parameters, when I will use its reference, just the way we chose the reference to have the same type of the object, then I will have all of the methods and parameters of that object available to me. I can do whatever I want with that method. I can have it play soccer. I can have it read books. I can use this reference in order to use and activate all of the methods of this object. And this is very beneficial. However, there are some instances that programmers decide to do something quite different. And this is the notion of upcasting. And what programmers will sometimes do is, as they create a new object of the subclass, and using the word new, and they create an object of the subclass, let's say an object of the subclass of a person that also plays soccer, but also plays soccer, but in addition also read books. So the programmers may decide that the reference that will point to that object will not be a reference of the type of soccer and books. In the contrary, the reference will be of the type of the parent class, a soccer player. So this is a kind of a strange thing to do, and it has some disadvantages. One of the disadvantage, or the most prominent disadvantage of this kind of programming style, is that now if I'm going to interact with this object using this reference, which is the type of the parent, the soccer player, now when I want to activate my object to let him do things or to reach its parameters, now all I can do with it are things that are related to the soccer playing only. Only the methods that the parent class has, these are the only methods and parameters I will be able to activate and to interact with through the reference that I made that is of the parent class. It's like all of the other good things of this object that is related to reading books, which are specific to this subclass, are blocked from my reach. I cannot do anything with them. And this is a disadvantage. So the question arises, why should I use this kind of writing style? I mean, what's the advantage of writing a code this way that curtails my abilities to do things with my object? And the answer is that sometimes there are times that this makes sense. And I will give an example. Let's say that now I'm going to a camp of soccer playing, and all of the soccer players, whatever subclasses they are from, eventually all of them are also soccer players, and now I want to make them do things all together and to write a code in an efficient way. For example, I can make an array and put all of my objects of soccer players, even though those objects are of the subclasses, and I can put all of them together in one array of the type soccer player, a type of the parent, and then I can use a for loop and make all of those objects as one, perform some action that is an action that the parent class, the soccer player, is able to do, which is related to soccer playing, and have all of them do it. And in this way, I'm very efficient. Or I can write a method that this method is aimed at soccer players of the type of the parent. And when I run this code on objects that of the subclass, it will work fine. And all of those objects, whichever subclass they are from, as long as their parent is the soccer player, this method that I'm writing that is aimed towards soccer players, it will work. And this way I can write an efficient code that kind of put together in the same bucket all of those subclasses of soccer player, whatever their subclass is. If it is not relevant right now to the soccer play, then it doesn't really matter right now all of their abilities to read books or enjoy music or go to hiking in the nature. In the context of playing soccer, it is quite efficient to treat all of them this way, and it is more efficient. So I can understand a situation where I will create new objects of a subclass, a person that also read books and also play soccer, but we'll put the reference to that object, a reference of the parent type, because it will be efficient when I'm trying to make some actions that are really related only to soccer players, to soccer playing, to the soccer play. Excuse me. However, now let's see the disadvantages and how we can overcome them using downcasting. So until now we explained what is upcasting. Now look at the other method of downcasting and how it comes and be beneficial to us. So let's say that I'm in this soccer playing camp, and all of the players are playing endlessly and are doing it very well. And now the evening has arrived, has come, and now each one of the players have their own free and spare time. They may do whatever they wish to unwind and to enjoy a pleasant private evening. At this time, it would make sense that those people would like to roll back and to do things that are specific to their own interests that they have as an object of a subclass. The person that is of the subclass of soccer and books would like in his spare time or her spare time to read some books, and the person that plays soccer and enjoy music, now after the game, he or she would surely like to unwind and enjoy some pleasant music. But what could we do? As I said, it was the programmer's decision to choose that the reference that would point to that object would be a reference of the type of the parent. And now me as a programmer, I am excluded of the option of interacting with this object of the subclass and engaging him with the methods that are specific to him, such as reading books, etc. So what could I do? How could I change my decision and do allow those objects to engage in the activities that they have and wish to engage with after the time of the game? So now the idea of downcasting comes in handy. And the idea is that even though at the beginning I had a programming decision to perform upcasting and to have the reference type that points to the object of the subclass to be a reference type of the parent, that this is something that curtailed my abilities to use this object to the fullest. Now I can change my mind, and I can now use the word that is the name of this class in my example, soccer and books, I can put it in a set of two sets of parentheses. And in this way, I am indicating that I would like to change or overcome or try to regret my initial decision to do upcasting. And now I would like to actually be able to reach and to activate all of the methods and parameters of this object, to reach those methods that are specific to the subclass and that are not in the parent class. I still want to reach them and to allow my tired and exhausted soccer players to do the things that they can do as they are objects of the subclass that may read books. And in this way, I can allow and I could activate my object and tell him to read books, which and this object would not be able to do that unless I have done this downcasting with all of those parentheses.